Hey, welcome back, friends and family, to our newest show called the Ask BC Show. This is an opportunity for you all to send me your questions on Facebook and for me to respond on Facebook and over on YouTube. Don't want to leave our YouTube friends out. Today's question, the first question in the shoot ever for this inaugural event, comes from my friend Peter, who says this: Hey BC, I have a question for you. Maybe it would be a good idea for a video topic. Well said, Pete. I really want to lose weight and also become actually fit because I have chronic fatigue. I'm close to 100 pounds overweight. However, I work 2 jobs, an internship, full-time college, and I run a YouTube channel where I upload twice daily. It's not to say I don't have time. Well said, Peter. You know I don't like people who make the excuse of not having time. Well done. My problem is I do so much I can't get motivated to take care of myself in the extra time I have. Okay. Thinking of going and working out also makes me feel more fatigued. I've started transitioning my diet, excellent, to become a lot healthier generally. But do you have any tips or ideas on how I can become and stay motivated to lose weight and become fit? Since you're a trainer, I figured you've dealt with something like this before. Either way, thanks for all your help. You've added so much value to my life, and I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you too, Peter. Thanks for the excellent question. A few things to keep in mind here. All right, you listed off a laundry list of things. Sounds like you have 2 jobs, an internship. Did it say full-time college? It said full-time college, and you run a YouTube channel where you upload twice daily. The great Gary Keller, in his book, The One Thing, had an excellent quote. It's actually the point of the book that says, what is the one thing I could do today, this month, tomorrow, this week, that's fundamentally going to make all the other things I need to do easier? And what that question is really forcing the reader to do is what we call in the military prioritizing and executing. All right, you've got a lot of things that you're doing. I want you to take a look at, let's take health off of the shelf just for a second. We're going to come back to health, all right? We can take health from here. We're going to take it off the shelf, throw it away for a second. Let's just look at the activities you're involved in. 2 jobs, internship, full-time college, 2 videos a day on YouTube. Why? Why do you have 2 jobs? All right? Why do you also have an internship? Why are you in school? And why are you making 2 videos on YouTube? Because when I hear somebody say that they're doing all of these things, which could all be great things, to me it shows a potentially, because I don't know your whole life situation, it shows a lack of focus. Okay, you've got 2 jobs, I imagine, because that's what's helping you live. So let's assume, without more information, that your 2 jobs are how you're making the money to stay in a house and buy food and things of that nature. So let's say the 2 jobs for now can't be flexed with, okay? Those are a given. Why are you doing the internship on top of the 2 jobs, right? And if you already have 2 jobs, and maybe the 2 jobs are also helping you pay for school, but why are you in school? What is it that you're working toward? And there's no right or wrong answer. The answers are not for me, they're for you to understand why are you doing all of these things so that you can prioritize them. Right? If you're taking 2 jobs so that you can also go to college because you want to get a better job after the fact, then okay, maybe the 2 jobs in college are 2 things, or the 3 things that you sustain. But could you switch and go to college part-time and maybe have a lower bill? Thus, maybe you could get rid of one of your jobs. Now it takes you longer to get through school, but now you have more time. More importantly, you have more energy because you're not being pulled in so many different directions. That's one option. What about the internship? Is the internship at a place where you really, really want to work and you're doing that because that's eventually going to get you out of these other 2 jobs? If so, then maybe still you go to school part-time, which is the reason why I say that is because it's cheaper. I went to school part-time my last year the year I had to pay for college. I was on scholarship the other years, right? And so you can lower that payment and now you can do school. Just going to take you longer, but you're at an internship that's at the place where you want to work, so they're probably going to hire you even before you finish school, potentially, unless they have some type of degree requirement. But we need to understand why you're doing all of those things before we can make drastic changes. But more importantly than any of that, first of all, right off the bat, just from listening to your list, why are you doing YouTube on top of that? Like, if you have all of that going on in your life, the first thing, without knowing you and knowing more about your situation, that I would have you do is cut YouTube. Like, enough. Like YouTube, it's not time for YouTube if you have all of these other life things going on. Like seriously, if you have to choose between eating properly and working out and YouTube, do I have to finish that sentence, brother? Because here's the deal. YouTube's still gonna be here, potentially, after you ain't. What good is YouTube gonna do you if you're dead or in a health situation where you can't even benefit from it? Right? I would go as far as to say your health is more important than all of the other things. That's why I took it off the shelf, because now I'm going to put it back on the shelf. Health comes first, homeboy. Rearrange everything else on that list so that you can, and I love the fact that you're eating right, because really that's at least 60% of the battle, is the fact that what you're putting into yourself is actually helping you live, not holding you back. Like I used to do. I always say my wife saved my life because I ate Taco Bell and Chinese takeout like every night before I met her. Right? So I know what it's like to live that life. I also know what it's like to eat well. Eating well is so much better. But health comes first. So what it sounds like you're trying to work into is eating right more often, but how do you get a workout in as well? Well, here's the deal. I would submit to you for your approval that part of the reason why you are not motivated to go work out is not just because you're so busy and tired. It's because of how you perceive working out in your mind. Now, if you're almost 100 pounds overweight, chances are you haven't liked working out for a very long time, or you never did. And so in your mind, working out is like really tough for you. It's like, oh, it's such a chore. So what I need you to do is find physical activities that you actually enjoy. And so ultimately, yes, I have worked with people in this situation where I've had that conversation. They're like, well, I always hated sports growing up and I never had any physical activity. And I'm like, oh God, who are your parents? But I get it. The goal here is to figure that out. If you don't already know that there's a physical activity that you enjoy, your job for the next 3 months is to figure out what is a physical activity that you wouldn't mind doing that doesn't take so much motivation to go do. For me, that's lifting weights. I will go lift weights at the drop of a hat because I love it. I love the pain. I love the strain. I love the resistance. I mean, lifting weights for me feels like I'm in a fight, and I like that. Like that gets my blood pumping. If that doesn't work for you, then maybe lifting weights isn't your thing. Maybe you need to be on like a sports team where you play soccer 3 times a week. There's meetup groups. My wife was telling me, I've never done this, but she said one of her friends would go to different meetup groups throughout the week where she'd play kickball, dodgeball one day, soccer. Like she was so active, and she's in really good shape. So I think in order to get over the stigma in your mind that, oh, just thinking about working out makes me exhausted, like it's because you're thinking about working out the wrong way. Figure out physical activities that you actually like doing and go do those. For example, like if you love paintball, go do that. And just run from position to position instead of walking, and do it more frequently. But it's a classic case of you really need to divide and conquer. You need to prioritize your life, figure out of all those activities you're doing, what needs to happen in order for you to stay healthy and alive, right? YouTube is not one of them, by the way. You probably need to stop doing YouTube temporarily until you can get your health in order. And then your work situation, because I don't know why you'd be doing 2 jobs and an internship and going to school full time. Like that's just such a buffet line of opportunity to stress yourself out. I would cut down, I would literally remove everything that isn't necessary for me to sustain life. And then from there, add your workout, add your diet. And then if you can fit in the internship or whatever the thing is, once you've made your list, it's really just a classic case of you need to prioritize and execute. I hope you found that really helpful. Feel free to hit me back on Facebook. Let me know how your progress is going. But first order of business is I would cut YouTube. You don't have to quit forever, but just quit until you get to a place in your life where you can actually manage doing YouTube. If it's interfering, like if you didn't have the health issue, I'd say fine, just keep going and cut something else. But until you can get that squared away, YouTube is totally a thing you don't need. Unless you have 1 billion subscribers and you're making $1 million a year, which then you don't need the 2 jobs. So cut that. Spend the next month or so figuring out a physical activity that you enjoy, and then commit to doing it 3 times a week. And then eventually commit to doing it 5 times a week, right? Or commit to doing something that you enjoy that's physical and get you out of chairs and moving around. at least 5 times a week. I like 7 times a week, you know, with different intensity levels. Obviously, you can't go crazy every day, but you can do something every day. But that's down the road. For now, let's find an activity you like, commit to doing that 3 times a week, and stick with that for, you know, I'd say at least 6 months, and then add on more as you can. But definitely prioritize your life. Figure out, it just sounds like you're trying to pursue a lot of different things because you're not sure what you want to be doing. I think you need to figure that out, prioritize, and execute. Hope you got a ton out of this. Hope everyone else watching this got a ton out of it as well. Feel free to continue asking me questions over on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Bryant, B-R-Y-A-N-T, Chambers page, all one word, Bryant Chambers page. You should be following me there already anyway, friends, because it's so much easier for us to have a conversation there, even with the personality type videos and the other stuff I do with the daily vlog. It's just way easier to have a conversation with me there than it is on YouTube. So follow me on Facebook, send me your questions through DM on Facebook, and we'll see if we can get a video out. And we'll do these, I reckon, as often as I get good questions. For now, we'll see where it goes. Anyway, friends, as always, remember that we are stronger than I love you all greatly, and I'll see you tomorrow.